the challenges with the traditional data warehouses. What are the challenges with traditional data warehouses? Earlier, what were the challenges like previous versions? I'm writing like storage um, is not infinite as such, like or and it is not even elastic. So there are three problems with storage. One thing is not infinite, not elastic, not elastic. Uh, when I say elastic, so it is not so easily scalable, right? The way we expect it to scale up when data velocity increases. And then cost per terabyte is very high, very high, right? So you will find a lot of solutions are limited by this because Teradata, or you will find other MPP-based architectures like those which were enterprise solutions that I just mentioned in the second generation. They were having this problem, but with the invention of Hive, you will find like it is overcoming this challenge of cost per terabyte, but it is still having issues with regards to scalability. So we'll see what are the challenges with big data warehouses. I can write down only for structured data, not even for semi-structured data. And nowadays, like you will find Snowflake is supporting semi-structured data very well. So unstructured data is out of scope of data warehouses, but semi-structured data is not supported in the traditional data warehouses the way we expect. So when we are storing JSON, then it is considered as string. And string is not the right data type to represent semi-structured data. Or sometimes we store our binary data like Parquet or Avro in blob, clob, or maybe some data type which is not even understandable by the query parser. So there are a lot of challenges with regards to semi-structured data. The performance on large data sets is very slow. On large data set is slow. Okay. What else? Can I say DBA has lot of activities to perform, activities to perform. One problem like backup and restore is a problematic domain. Sometimes like incremental backup, and there are so many things, right? Apart from that, you have to upgrade, right? Upgrading. Okay. What else? Patching. What other else do you see? Capacity planning is a pain. You are always missing the exact number because either you are over provisioning or under provisioning, right? So it is like a big problem. And then initial setup is a problem. And then how will you achieve multi-tenancy? Multi-tenancy means one department will say I need a different version of data warehouse. Another department will say I am still working with the previous version, I don't want upgrade, right? So these kind of issues, multi-tenancy will be a problem. And then what else? Like DBA has to take care of maybe indexing, or maybe partitioning, or maybe depends like who is involved. Then there is another concept called ordering, right? And then another concept called vacuuming. So this is related to Redshift. And then statistics of the table you have to collect, analyze command you have to run regularly, right? Memory management. So you can see this is like a very painful job. And how we are ensuring parallelism, right? Workload management, how workloads are running. So you have to monitor those workloads and ensure that if there is any issue, then you have to rerun. So there are lot of challenges with regards to like maybe you can assume like it's like a full-time activity, and even multiple DBAs are working. They are having sleepless nights to actually manage traditional data warehouses. Okay, challenges with the big data warehouses. So I'm just adding one more whiteboard here. So what are the challenges with big data warehouses? Can I say Hive is a batch process, right? So you can use this batch process, like maybe you can speed up. Earlier people were using MapReduce, then people moved to Thales, and then people moved to Spark. So people try to improve the performance of Hive by switching different frameworks. Please understand, these are all batch frameworks. These are not like near real time, or they don't provide like Spark has specialized libraries for providing the real-time analytics, for example, structured streaming, which can give you millisecond latency also. But when you are running Hive on Spark, even then it is a bad job. it is not like a real time analytics which is happening. Or so this is one problem. Apart from that, like in Hive we have a query language HQL, and HQL lacks lot of features which other like data warehouses provide. So it has, when I say lacks a lot of features, for example, indexing support is very limited. Indexing support is limited. Apart from that, you will find that no materialized. So in Hive, we don't have any materialized view. I'm just citing no materialized view. Apart from that, it does not have any stored procedure. No stored procedures. Right? So you will find there are many issues with Hive. So you cannot no way to define constraints. So updates are really hard. So updating data in Hive is a pain, is very painful, is very painful process. So I'm not saying it is not possible, but I'm saying it is a very painful process because it works. Hive can work with ORC, and you can update the data because Hive is actually running on HDFS. Hive is running, if you see the stack, in the stack, let's say Hive, let's say this is Spark and Hive on Spark, and then we have HDFS. So this is our distributed storage layer, and this is our distributed processing layer, and this is our distributed analysis layer. So when you are running Hive on HDFS, so what happens, like your data is actually stored in HDFS. It is not stored in Hive. So a Hive is dependent on underlying storage. So this storage can be HBase also. This storage can be S3 also. Hive can work on different storage, but most popular combination is Hive on HDFS. So Hive stores data in HDFS. So in HDFS, this is immutable. This one is immutable. You cannot update HDFS blocks. So when files are immutable on HDFS, so that means like Hive runs a process called compaction internally, and that compaction process will ensure that it is able to merge the like original records with the delta records, and then it is able to get the new data, updated data, right? So this is existing data, and this one is like update which we got, and then it is running a compaction process regularly to actually merge these two things together, and then we are getting new data, right? So you can see updates are not so easy in Hive, and it works very well with ORC. Hive works very well with ORC when we talk about the ACID or updates. Apart from that, RDBMS is required to store metadata. So that means there is an external dependency on RDBMS, relational database, to store metadata, which is again a problem because when you're using Hive, Impala kind of ecosystem, then Impala is caching the metadata and it goes out of sync because metadata is not updated in Impala, but it is there in Hive Metastore. So there are issues with regards to cache synchronization, and then you have to manually invalidate the cache. So these are the things you will find. And mostly, like you will find Hive is on-prem. So that's the biggest problem because you are responsible for managing, monitoring, capacity planning, installing, configuring Hive. So you are responsible for everything. So that's a very big problem apart from these things that I just mentioned.